Right now on News 410, why one restaurant owner says he might not be able to cook for people at the Taste of Buffalo this weekend, how you can help the Lancaster businessman.
And it was another warm and largely sunny day across western New York. We are tracking a little bit of wet weather as we head into the weekend and some cooler temperatures coming up in your 401 forecast.
And sharing their story, News 4 speaks with a couple who found a woman's body floating in Lake Erie. They describe the disturbing discovery. We begin with breaking news at 10. Sources just told me that 2 people have been shot on Buffalo's west side. We're told it happened at Grant and Breckenridge. We are working to find out how extensive their injuries are and how old the people are that were shot. We do have a crew headed to the scene. Rachel Monjovi and her photographer are on their way. They will bring us more information, and we will hear as well as soon as we learn anything new. We will also post any updates on our social media pages. Check my Twitter page for the latest.
They're very heavy, so it would have to take 2 to 3 people to fit them or put them into a car or a truck.
Now to our other top story at 10. A Lancaster restaurant owner is fired up tonight. He says his 2 grills were stolen just 2 days before the Taste of Buffalo. With such short notice, he's not sure how he's going to feed the crowds this weekend. News 4's Rachel Monjovi spoke with him earlier tonight.
Panic. I just thought, oh my gosh, what are we going to do?
When Ed Church opened the doors to his Lancaster restaurant, he saw something very valuable was missing.
We had our grills out back to be cleaned and serviced today, and I noticed that they were missing. And I think either someone took them, they wanted a grill, or took them for scrap.
He says both grills were one of a kind and specially made. Each one cost about $2,500.
Cast iron plates that are on top are really, really expensive, and that's how we grill our sandwiches because we make everything to order. They're pretty much irreplaceable. You can't find them anywhere, and they were specially made for these grills.
Church owns Eddie Ryan's restaurant. It's been a staple in the community for the last 16 years. He's been cooking up Buffalo's favorites at the Taste of Buffalo for the last 12 years.
We're known for our pot roast, our Reuben sandwich, our beer cheese soup.
Church says police are looking for the grills, even searching scrap yards.
I can't imagine why they would want them, but you know, if they needed the money that bad, all they had to do was ask me for it. If I had it, I'd give it to them anyway, so.
The stolen grills are throwing a wrench into Church's plans. He's left scrambling, trying to find a way to feed hundreds of people this weekend.
Don't know yet. Don't have the answer yet. We'll be there. Somehow we'll be serving what we normally serve.
Now, Church is asking for his grills to be returned. No questions asked. He did not have any pictures of the grills, but told Rachel they are 5 feet tall by 3 feet wide with no knobs. Church is in the process of trying to rent grills for the Taste of Buffalo this weekend.
If the water comes to this height again, let's make sure it doesn't do this amount of damage again.
Governor Andrew Cuomo says more needs to be done to prevent future flooding tragedies. The governor, alongside local and state leaders, spoke in Wilson this afternoon to discuss what the next steps are following severe flooding in that area. The governor assured homeowners and businesses along the Lake Ontario shoreline that help is on the way to get them back on their feet. This included a $55 million aid package passed by lawmakers last week. Cuomo says the state is now seeking federal aid from FEMA.
In a situation like this, where you reach a threshold amount in damage, which I believe we're going to meet, the federal government has a program to come back and reimburse, and we're going to pursue that aggressively.
Governor Cuomo is also calling on President Donald Trump to help. He wants the president to appoint new members to the IJC, which studies the Great Lakes. He also wants the president to make the South Shore Lake disaster area. Meanwhile, at Lake Erie, Democratic Minority Leader Chuck Schumer is calling for more to be done to protect busy Route 5 from crashing waves during storms. Speaking this afternoon, Schumer talked about the state of the current protective wall, saying it is nearly 100 years old and needs to be replaced. Schumer fears if it's not, it could crumble and cause major problems along Route 5. Now the Army Corps of Engineers have come up with a plan to replace it.
The wall would serve as an improved safety barrier and protect the roadway against the dangerously high water levels that we are seeing. It'll enable the water to drain more quickly from the area in the event of a storm. It'll be newer, safer, more durable.
The wall would be more than 1,300 feet tall and include a 15-foot wide splash apron to protect the road. Schumer hopes the Army Corps will allocate resources in their upcoming budget to get this wall built. We'll keep you posted.
We circled a couple times, and my husband says, yeah, that's a person in the water.
Tonight, we are hearing from the man and woman who spotted a Pennsylvania woman's body floating in Lake Erie. This grim discovery was made on Tuesday, but last night at 10, we brought you the breaking news when state police identified her as Karen LeClaire. Police say she was shot in the head, her ankles bound, and an anchor was attached to her body. News 4's Dave Graber spoke with the couple who found her about what they saw.
We circled a couple times, and my husband says, yeah, that's a person in the water. It was crazy. It was like it wasn't even real.
Right away, we started looking at missing person reports and, came upon a description of somebody that met the description of, Miss LeClaire.
Rachel and Scott asked us not to show their faces because they said there were children aboard their boat, and they said they've been through enough. Karen LeClaire was reported missing June 11th by her husband, Christopher. The man told authorities his wife fell overboard when the couple went out on the lake last month. But doc surveillance video showed Christopher and his wife left together, and he returned alone. Investigators spent part of the day yesterday afternoon searching LeClaire's boat. They say they found both netting and other rope that matched what was found on the body of Karen LeClaire.
It looked like something tied around her chest area because you could tell that something was tight around it. And we could see down into the water a little bit. It looked like something was under her, weighing her down.
A second rope was secured around the victim's chest, which had a boat anchor attached to it.
State police say Karen LeClaire was shot in the head before being dumped into the lake, and her family had been desperately looking for her since early last month.
At least her family has closure now. They know what happened.
I mean, now they have the evidence. They need to keep him in jail. I feel bad if bad things happen, and it stinks for the family, and it stinks that it's on a holiday. I feel like they'll just never celebrate the 4th of July the same way again.
In addition to charging Christopher LeClaire with his wife's murder, state police announced yesterday that they had arrested and charged Christopher's father, Ernest, with tampering with evidence. State police said he admitted to hiding the .38 caliber gun allegedly used to shoot Karen LeClaire in the head. Reporting in the studio, Dave Graber, News 4.
Hours from now, President Trump will meet with Russian President Putin for the first time face-to-face. How many people are expected to protest tomorrow as world leaders meet in Germany?